Hey, hi, how's it going, everybody? You guys saw the title, you guys saw the thumbnail. Let's get right into this. But before that, two little important things. First off, this video might look a little bit more compressed because I had to downgrade my video editing software. And two, this might just be the worst intervention gameplay you will ever see. I suck with this weapon, so enjoy. Without further ado though, let's get into this. I don't know if I'm the only one that has recently seen a shift in this content niche of, using background gameplay and talking about something about your life or another unrelated topic that's completely separate from the gameplay. I have noticed this specific genre of videos created by people who are, let's say, 25, 30, 35, and they have very limited or no life experience in certain aspects. In, let's say, friendships, relationships, job opportunities, job prospects. The main guy that's currently pumping out these videos is Loser Maxing, but this is not like a targeted video towards him. I have nothing personal against the guy. I don't know him. It'd be a little weird if he knew me. I'm a minor. I don't mean to put no pedophile allegations on this guy's name. He's already been through enough. But point is, there are many other channels on YouTube like his that produce similar types of videos, but he's the one that I want to focus on today because he's by far the biggest creator, or the biggest creator that I know of. And this type of content piqued my interest. First thing that immediately stood out to me in this guy's content and in most of his videos that are relationship focused is how he says that only the top echelon of men are in relationships and dating women and in general have contact with them. Now, an important distinction is that we are not from the same country or continent. I am from Eastern Europe, and what I'm guessing is that this guy is American. He sounds pretty southern with his accent, so I wouldn't really be surprised if he's American. But yeah, point is, in my life and in my personal experience, that is just simply not true. If you looked at me objectively and didn't know me as a person, you didn't know shit about me, you would probably think that I was homeless and that I smoke fucking crack. I look fucking horrible, and yet I have a girlfriend. So when he says shit like your personality doesn't matter and stuff like that, that is just not true. Objectively, you have to be a decent human to pull women. And yes, I'm talking about women, conscious people, not whores. There's a very big difference between those two. I feel like it's necessary to mention that because I don't know how it is in America, but I mean there's a very stark difference between the two here. I would also like to mention that I'm nearly 2 decades younger than the guy, so take everything I say with a grain of salt here. I am in no way, shape, or form putting myself in this man's shoes. This is the second thing I would like to talk about. I can almost kind of somewhat relate to this guy because he has extremely severe social anxiety from what he says in his videos, and I choose to believe them. Right? I don't think that they are fake. I don't think that anybody would willingly post this content on the internet if it wasn't. I'm not saying that I have anywhere near the level of social anxiety that this guy has. I am pretty introverted. I don't have a very big group of people that's constantly around me. It's not like I am an extreme, extrovert shitting on this guy with no friends and no girlfriend. However, let's say that you're somebody who is already introverted or in a similar position to him, but they are younger, let's say around my age, 16, 17, 18, and they start watching this type of content and, build the views that this guy has. This would impact somebody like that in an extremely negative way. I think it could potentially ruin their life. And I'm not saying that he is responsible for what his audience does and absorbs from his content, but more or less, you are what you consume. If you consume sad content like this, well, guess what? You will become sad too. Even if you just watch his videos in the background while you're doing something else, your brain still subconsciously picks up on what this man is saying and what he's speaking about in his videos. So, more or less, be careful with the content that you consume if you're already not in like the best mental space. But yeah, point is, if you're an impressionable person, don't watch this type of video. I am not your dad. I can't really tell you what to do and what not to do, but this is just some general advice from somebody that has experienced it. When I was in my low point, I always consumed swap content, or generally just depressing content. By swap, I mean short form content and watching videos that I genuinely just didn't give a shit about, like Pyro Live or Moist Critical uploads. I'm not saying that Moist Critical, by the way, is a bad person in any way. I really respect him, but his videos just feel like a time waster. It feels like you're time traveling, fast travel when you watch one of his videos. But besides the point, last point I want to make about loser maxing and people that make similar content to him is that watching these videos really gains you a different perspective and a lot more respect towards people like him. Previously, I just thought that people like him were sort of losers who hadn't tried and were just way too socially anxious to go out and actually do something with their life. And this guy is not that. From the videos that I have seen, he says that he's went to the gym and that he has a pretty good physique. Now, I've gone to the gym for like 2 months. I am built like a stick figure, but it's something. He tried to improve his physical looks, and that is something that is genuinely respectable. He's also not stupid in any way. He has an engineering degree and previously held a job as an engineer. Another very respectable thing, and it shows you that you can do what's quote unquote the right thing to do and follow the guidebook and follow all the steps and still not see any success. And I think that that is a very important thing to see and a very important perspective to have. Because let's be honest with ourselves here, I would assume that most of my audience, like probably 70 to 80%, is a bunch of average ass dudes like me. And content like his, while not necessarily healthy or good for you, is still important to me. In the sense that you can learn things from it that you wouldn't previously know. And that is always a big plus when we're talking about that type of fucking content and that scenario. Because there are genuinely people who use AI voices, AI scripts to make videos similar not only to mine but to his, to engagement farm and manipulate vulnerable people that are in similar positions and farm them for views. If you do this shit, I genuinely hope you get AIDS or some type of STD, because there is no excuse to be making videos like that in a niche where real people are supposed to share their real experiences. To conclude this video, I would like to say that I am not necessarily for or against this content. It definitely has its benefits and its minuses. The benefit being that you gain a perspective that you didn't previously have, and it's important to have it. You never know what your future is going to turn out like. The con is, if you're already somebody that is not in a great mental space, watching this type of content would only amplify those thoughts and those opinions towards groups of people that you're already sensitive towards. Especially if you're young like me. If you're, let's say, 17, 18 and never had a girlfriend, this can really push your perspective in a very negative way. And those type of people are very influential towards that type of content. So yeah, be careful what you watch. Don't compare yourself to random people on the internet. And thank you guys for watching this video. If you like this type of content, you can comment, like, subscribe. And if you did not like this video, you can leave a ruthless hate comment and dislike this video. Until next time though, peace.